What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Growing Up Hip Hop. This is Season 7, Episode 4, and the episode is titled Tuck and Roll. If I'm being honest, this episode did not have a lot going on, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So we start the episode off with Sean meeting up with Twist. They're going to go to get his hairline done, basically. So Sean has decided that because his hairline is receding, that he wants to go get it fixed. Which, I mean, okay, that's cool. Now, according to him, it's basically going to cost him $20,000 to get his hairline fixed. And I'm like, okay, well, he seems like he's a businessman, he has his money that he makes in Jamaica, so all right, cool. But here's the thing, this is not the only big spending that is on Sean's mind at this point. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Honestly, there was nothing really going on with this scene, so we just gonna keep it moving. All right, now let's go ahead and hop on over to Vanessa and Denise. Vanessa and Denise. They actually meet up, and they talk about how Vanessa, she still wants to lose weight. As we already know, Vanessa has struggled with her weight for, I'll probably say, like the past 3 seasons of Growing Up Hip Hop. And I will say, she has a great body, but she says that because she had her daughter, she has like this little pudge that just won't go away. So she's going to go get a procedure done, and Denise was fully supportive. Like, she was for it. And also, Denise was quite informative because she told her, like, oh, you have to get, like, drainage, and you have to make sure you massage these areas. And, like, she knew all this stuff because she has had plastic surgery herself. So, Denise has actually had liposuction. I'm going to assume that was probably after she had the babies. She probably had lipo. I'm not sure which one, or maybe after both. Don't really know. But as far as Vanessa goes, Vanessa's going to get like this small procedure, and one thing that I will respect about her is that she was like, I went in there, they were like marking up practically like my whole body, and no, I just want to get this one thing done. And I'm like, okay, hopefully she's the type of person who is headstrong, and she's only going to get this one procedure, because as you already know, plastic surgery is addictive. I feel like it doesn't matter who you are or what procedure that you're going in for. A lot of people have become addicted to plastic surgery. Some people, they went in for a BBL, and next thing you know, they got a whole new nose. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that at least Vanessa, she actually made the decision herself to, go into her 40s looking amazing, even though she already does look amazing. But let's go ahead and move on. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and move on to this scene with Brianna. So as much as I like Brianna and her singing, I feel like this was a no. I just was not a fan. I know she has like that whole earthy vibe, but we needed some more lyrics, and yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. But I will say that Sequoia came to support her, which was good because we don't really see Sequoia and Brianna hanging out together. And they have this conversation about how Sequoia and her mom, of course she has to get a second opinion of someone. So she goes to talk to Brianna about the fact that her mom did not tell her about her dating Lazy. Now, I will say that Sequoia definitely made it seem like, she was still trying to support her mom and all this stuff. But we saw the footage of the conversation, and Sequoia was definitely going hard at her mom. Now, Brianna actually said, can I come to you as a homegirl when it comes to the situation? At the end of the day, it is nobody's business whatever your mom is doing, because unless this is affecting the business side of things, there shouldn't be an issue. Now, according to Sequoia, the business side of things has been affected, but I'm like, in what way? Because let's be real. Sequoia, what are you really doing? Your mom is managing you, but we ain't seen you on nothing. You're not really putting out music like that. Like, stop playing in our faces. So Brianna is like, I understand where you're coming from because you're a concerned daughter, but let your mama breathe. And I'm like, yes, exactly. Let your mom breathe, because she's literally been in a 20-year relationship with your father, who was a hot mess. I mean, literally, this man has been putting her through stuff for 20 years. Rather it be his alcoholism, rather it be his crazy baby mamas. Like, let this lady have a little bit of fun in her life. Relax, Sequoia. Of course, Sequoia is not really trying to hear it, but Brianna's like, well, listen, whenever you come in contact with your mom, just try to be nice and cordial, because at the end of the day, that is your mother. So they end up talking about how Sequoia wants to have this skating party or whatever. And Brianna's like, well, who all coming? And of course she's like, I know you're not really feeling Cree right now, but she was invited. So we already know there's going to be a clash between Brianna and Cree. All right, let's hop on over to Tanice's place because she's there and Vanessa ends up coming up. Vanessa has had her procedure and she's already looking great. So they basically talk about how the healing process will go, since she's had this procedure. Y'all, Cree shows up, right? And I was like, what's so funny about this is that Vanessa is coming to Tanice about all of like the surgery stuff, because she clearly wants to keep this private between just like her and Tanice. But that kind of had me thinking, y'all, when we met Cree, didn't she say that she created like a place where people go after they have surgeries where they can get like the massages and the drainage and all of that stuff? Like, why didn't she ask Cree for any information? I find that to be quite interesting. And it kind of makes me circle back to the fact that Brianna was like, does Cree really hang out with the Simmons girls like that? And it's like, yeah, I still kind of question it. Like, so are you an associate or are you actually a friend? Because considering that's something that you do for a living, you provide girls with, the proper necessities, or at least the right people to talk to, or should I say the right people that can perform these drainages and, get these massages done for these girls. You would think that Vanessa would be like, oh, do you have any like connects out here? Because I know that's what you were doing in Miami or something. Like, y'all don't find it to be weird? Because I know I do. There's no way I have a friend who specializes, or at least she says that she specializes in something, but then I'm going to ask anybody else but her what's going on and who should I see about getting a massage. I'm just throwing that out there. Nonetheless, Cree comes over. All right, so Tanice is trying to figure out what's going on between Brianna and Cree. And Cree is like, well, because she is talking about me on the internet. Let me pull up the video. Y'all, she is like itching to pull this video up. So even what I noticed was that Vanessa was like, oh, so she's probably answering questions that people are asking in the comments or whatever. Because somebody probably asked, do you think that Cree really hangs out with Angela? And she's like, I don't know. Does she? Like, I think it's a valid question. So in the midst of all this, JoJo actually shows up and Cree is anxious to tell him about how she has beef with Brianna. So, she's playing a video or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's not really that deep, basically. And of course, he's like, this is what Brianna does. Like, even though you think that you're a big dog, this is not the game that you want to play with Brianna because Brianna always wins. And he has not lied. Like, I don't even understand why Cree is taking it so to heart. Like, that's because you want to be Angela's bestie so bad that you are willing to go against Brianna unnecessarily. Because let's not forget that before they even got to the party on the last episode, or the episode before that, whatever. So her whole goal was to link Brianna and Angela together because Bree sings as well as Angela. Not she was going to link her with Sequoia, who is supposedly a singer. Not link her with Egypt, who is supposedly a singer. No, you're going to purposely insert yourself in a situation so that you can prove to Brianna that you and Angela are friends. Girl, goodbye. Because at the end of the day, like JoJo said, I think you're overreacting, okay? What she said was not that deep for you to always try to run up on Brianna. Especially the way you did. Girl, bye. So, Tanice, she basically tried to be nice about the whole situation and be like, oh, it was a miscommunication on Brianna's behalf, even though I don't really think that it was. But okay, Tanice, you were trying to, be friends with Cree. So JoJo ends up asking them if they're going to go to Sequoia's party. And Cree is like, oh, I don't know, because we didn't speak to each other at Lazy's party. And then they run the clip back, and this when she had this altercation with Brianna. I said, wait, are you saying that you didn't speak to Sequoia, or are we still focusing on Brianna? Like, I don't know if that scene was chopped up or what, Because I'm like, that shouldn't be a response of why you won't go to Sequoia's party. Yeah, I don't know. Let me go ahead and move on. Alright, y'all, so let's hop on over to Tiny and Lazy. Lazy ends up showing up to Tiny's house with roses, or should I say flowers, because it wasn't just roses. And, she is feeling some type of way because of the conversation that she had with Sequoia. So she lets him know how, Sequoia came over, they talked about the whole situation, and how Sequoia was not with it. Sequoia felt like, he was her mentor, so they shouldn't have dated. And Lazy is like, listen, we didn't plan this. It's not like we knew that we were going to, date each other in the beginning. And at the end of the day, you're happy, I'm happy, and that's all that matters. So now Lazy, he wants to talk to Sequoia about all of this. And I'm just like, yeah, I would have appreciated it more if both of y'all would have talked to her earlier than this. But I get it. We had to wait for the show to, pick up filming for y'all to say that y'all were dating. I get it. We're making TV. Now, I will say this. When it comes to Tiny, I feel like, she's finally doing something that makes her happy. Because as we know, she was not happy in that previous relationship over the past couple of years. And when it comes to her and Lazy, like, the way she even looks at him, you can tell that she really is feeling that man. So, Sequoia, I'm going to need you to go ahead and fall in line and accept Lazy as your mentor / mama's boyfriend. Now, let's go ahead and move on. Alright, so here we go with another scene of Sean. But this time, TT is there. And they decide that they're going to go house hunting, right? Now, they're in this house that is $3.7 million. I said, where y'all getting $3.7 million from? Like, I know that he's making, a nice amount of money with the career that he has. But let's be realistic. TT ain't got no job. I mean, yes, she has a job as far as working for this show, but that's all she really got. And I'm just like, where are y'all getting $3.7 million to be able to afford this house? I don't see it. Why are y'all playing in our face? Like, I'm going to need you to come down a whole lot of money. And I get it. LA is expensive. I live in LA, so I definitely know. But I think we need to be realistic about our funds, and y'all just need to go ahead and pay rent. Because if we're being honest, Los Angeles is not really the place where you could just come in and own property unless you are super rich. And I'm not trying to count their coins, but I don't think that they're super rich like that. Because let's be honest, they're reality stars. Or should I say TT is a reality star. And Sean, of course, he has his weed business in Jamaica. But I just don't see them setting up shop in LA. I feel like the only reason why she wants to stay in LA is because of this show. And I think that this scene is fake. I don't think that they're really looking for a place. I think this was just something for them to do. I really do. Because I just don't see it. Like, a $3.7 million house? Why are we playing? And then for for TT to be like, oh, I think we need to up the budget. Girl, you don't even have a job. What are you talking about upping the budget? I mean, yes, she has this show as a job, but y'all know what I mean. Like, honestly, now that I'm kind of thinking about this, it's so strange to me that it's like her and Egypt are in competition with each other. Because when one of them got engaged, the other one got engaged. One of them got married in Jamaica. And then the other one was like, well, I was going to get married in Jamaica. One of them has a baby. Now the other one's having a baby. Egypt bought that tacky house in Vegas. Or should I say whatever city that was on the outside of Vegas. Because it was not Vegas. And now TT's trying to buy a house. Y'all, find something else. Find something else. But let's go ahead and move on. Now, y'all, while we got that quick scene of Tiny and Lazy, they were in the car or whatever, and I was just like, girl, you in this expensive car and you cannot park for nothing. The whole point of this scene, I guess, was to let us know that they knew each other way, way back in the day. And I mean, like, in the 90s. So, they knew each other way back in the day, but she did not stick around and try to get to know him. At that point, she had probably already met JoJo and was dealing with him. But let's move on because now we have to get to Sequoia's party at the skating rink. So she gets there with her cousin, and the first person to arrive is Twist. So of course they end up flirting with each other or whatever. Baby, when he was in that confessional and he was like, she wants me, I want her, but like only on a weekend, I said, not SZA lyrics. You like 9 to 5, he trying to be the weekend? What is happening? He literally said she is a weekend one, not Monday through Friday. I was like, what is happening? I would feel some type of way if I was her and I watched this episode back. Especially when he was like, it's like a Saturday, I ain't tripping. I said, wait a second. You just trying to smash and pass. Goodbye. Goodbye, Twist. I cannot take you right now. So Eric and Aaliyah show up, and JoJo and Tanice show up at first, and then Brianna, she had a whole crew of people with her. I said, well, you know what? I can't even knock it because the cast being here, that ain't enough people. So I'm kind of glad that she brought some extras. So, like I said, she's there. Next thing you know, Cree shows up, and there's a scene where all the girls are sitting together except for Brianna. Brianna comes over to get her skates or whatever. She's like, oh, excuse me, because she's like standing right next to Cree. Cree don't say nothing. So when she walks away, Cree is like, oh, I just pretended like nobody was there. I know how to be cordial. I'm like, girl, that's not being cordial. Like, stop playing. Alright, so Cree is out here being nosy, trying to figure out what was going on with Sequoia and her mama at Lazy's party. And Sequoia actually surprised me because I thought she was just going to be like a blabbermouth and be like, my mom's dating Lazy, wah, wah, wah. But no, she actually was like, well, there are things that are happening on the business side and personal side that we've been, arguing about. And I just think that I need to seek new management. She didn't even mention anything about Lazy, which I respected. So Cree, she is still trying to dig a little bit deeper, and she's like, well, a similar situation happened with her parents to where, her parents could not see eye to eye. She even brings up the fact that she saw Sequoia's parents on couples therapy, I think, and how, he had he's an alcoholic, and how, her mom had to go through a lot. And for Sequoia to take a step back, and even though she's their child in this situation, she needs to take a step back and be like, is that the type of person that I would even want to date for myself? Which I will say this, Cree, I was actually surprised that you came up with all of this. And I actually agreed with her. Because let's be honest, a lot of times when you are a child, you don't know everything that your parents go through. You don't know the full, stint of everything that's going on. There's a lot of conversations that are not, for a child's ears. Whether you be an adult child, a 5-year-old, 12, whatever, it's a lot of conversations that your parents have that you are not privy to. I mean, even in Sequoia's situation, you don't know how many times that your mom had to deal with baby mama drama. You don't know how many times your mom had to go probably pick him up from a bar because he was drunk and she got to go get him home. Like, you don't know what your mom fully went through. You know what I'm saying? Because most moms, they put on a brave face. They don't show you everything. So I definitely think that she needs to let her mom have some grace. I get it. She didn't tell you that she was dating this man, but girl, look at what the previous situation was. It wasn't good. So Sequoia actually does not feel like their dads are relatable at all. She feels like all because Cree saw something on TV, that does not mean that she knows the situation between JoJo and Tiny. Which, I mean, she doesn't know the full situation. She's just telling you what she saw on TV. So let's go ahead and move on, because now we have Twitch trying to figure out what is going on with Brianna and Cree. So he ends up bringing Cree over to where Brianna was so we can sort out what's going on with them. So we have both of them saying that they don't know each other. They both feel like they have never gotten to the place where they have had phone conversations. They've even filmed scenes together. They haven't done any of those things. So this issue is really stupid. I just wish that Cree would have been like, you were talking about me being Angela's friend on your live. Why'd you say that? I think that's where we started off being mad. Because you're the one who came in hot on the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, whatever. I mean, Bree did say that she talks about everybody and she ain't about to change. So, again, meet people where they at. But, like, I just wish that Cree would have just been like, so, you said this on your live. What made you say that? So that way we can really get to why she's upset. Because we already know she's only upset because she questioned her friendship with Angela. Alright, so let's actually jump on over to Sequoia and Twist. So, Sequoia is basically telling him how her mom is dating Lazy and she ain't feeling it. So he's like, well, why aren't you feeling it? Because, what's wrong with Lazy? She's like, he's a rapper. You know how rappers are. And he was like, well, you like me and I'm a rapper. And next thing you know, they are flirting. And I'm just like, all right, something's definitely going to go down between Twist and Sequoia. And he basically told her, like, you fix what's going on with your mama. And I guess maybe her and him can hook up and do some things. I don't know. But we will see what is going to happen between Sequoia and Twist. Now, next thing you know, Lazy shows up. Sequoia rolls herself right on over there and is trying to figure out why he's there. Honestly, my thought process was, why is he there as well? Just because, why is this old man here with all the youngins? Like, that was my first thought. Like, why is this old man here with all these kids? Even though they're not kids, you know what I'm saying? But it was very strange. I'm like, you couldn't invite her out to, like, a park or to go get yogurt or something so that y'all can have this conversation? No? Okay. So they have this conversation about what's been going on, right? And Sequoia's response is, well, my mom told me that you and her were knocking boots. I said, now, when did she say that, Sequoia? Now you're just making stuff up, girlfriend. And even Lazy was taken aback by what she said. Like, is that what she told you? And she was like, well, was it true? And he was like, yeah, maybe. So Sequoia goes on to talk about how he's the mentor and how they do business together. And also the fact that her mom is only separated. They have not gotten divorced. So then Lazy is like, well, I've been on your mom for 2 decades already. And they can't help how things evolved for them. So now Sequoia wants to get a new mentor. Y'all, she want to get new everything, okay? She want to drop her mama as the manager. Now she wants to drop him as a mentor. So Lazy is like, he still wants the best for her as an artist. So here goes Sequoia. She circles back to the fact that her mom is still married. Her dad is in limbo. He hasn't moved on yet. And also, he still wants Tiny back. I said, oh, okay, here we go. So you still want your parents to stay together. You want your mom to still suffer with your dad, regardless of how he treats her and all the things that he has put her through. I'm sorry, little girl, but your mom should not stay just for that reason. Now, y'all, this is where Lazy, he lost me when he was like, I love Casey and JoJo. I love their music. I had my kids to their music. I said, sir, we got to stop right there. It's getting real weird. It's getting really weird. So Sequoia tries to circle this back around to the fact that he's a rapper, and she doesn't want her mom dating a rapper. And he goes on to talk about all the things that he likes about Tiny and how he has a lot of love for her. Sequoia still ain't really feeling it, but I guess it is going to be what it is. And that is where the episode left off. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode, because I thought that we were going to get a fight between, not Sequoia, Brianna and Cree, but I guess that's going to happen on a different episode. But yeah, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.